This is Captain Conovar of the Storm Wardens 4th Company, requesting immediate reinforcement from anyone in the vicinity. We are on the planet of Cerberus and have come under assault by the Death Guard warband known as the Hollow Swarm. Once again, requesting immediate reinforcement. Emperor protect. This is Master Lazarus of the Dark Angels. Communication acknowledged. The 5th Company will answer your call. Stand by for reinforcement.
Welcome whānau to this 65 power level Warhammer 40k battle report between the Dark Angels and the Death Guard. The 5th Company, now led by Master Lazarus, have answered a call for aid from the beleaguered defenders of the Storm Wardens chapter and deployed in force to the world of Cerberus. This planet has been under fierce assault by the Hollow Swarm, a splinter force of the Crimson Slaughter sworn to Nurgle. Lazarus holds nothing back, deploying the Raven Wing, the Death Wing, and even the newest Space Marine Scouts, determined to bleed the Death Guard for their role in the death of Balthasar. We'll be playing a modified version of the Eternal War mission, the Relic, which sees both sides looking to recover a rare artifact sought after by the Hollow Swarm, no matter the cost. Battlefield dominance must also be achieved, with objectives scattered here, 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 and here, with 2 victory points per objective held by the game's end, and whoever controls the relic multiplying their points times 2. So that's our story and our mission. The Hollow Swarm will be kicking off turn 1, but before we do that, let's take a closer look at the armies that we'll be playing with today. We have a battalion detachment of Dark Angels, led by Master Lazarus. He's armed with a bolt rifle and a Heavenfell blade named Enmity's Edge. He is accompanied by a Primaris Lieutenant with a bolt rifle. We have 2 5-man intercessor squads armed with bolt rifles and a 5-man scout squad armed with shotguns, heavy bolter, and the sergeant with a chainsword. We have a 5-man Deathwing Terminator squad armed with storm bolters, power fists, chain fist, and a cyclone missile launcher, sergeant with a power sword. And we have a dreadnought armed with an assault cannon, smoke launchers, dreadnought power fist, and a storm bolter. We have a 5-man Hellblaster squad armed with plasma incinerators. And we have a 3-man Raven Wing bike squad armed with plasma guns, bolt pistols, chainsword. The bikes have twin bolt guns. And a Raven Wing Dark Shroud armed with a heavy bolter. We have a battalion detachment of Death Guard Hollow Swarm, led by Typhus. He is equipped with a Mastercrafted Man Reaper and the Destroyer Hive. He is accompanied by 2 Lords of Contagion, Lord Faltheus here equipped with a Man Reaper, and Lord Magoth here equipped with a Plague Reaper. We have a 5-man unit of Plague Marines armed with bolt guns, a Blight Launcher, and a Champion with a Power Fist. And we have 2 10-man units of Poxwalkers armed with improvised weapons. We have a 3-man and 5-man squad of Blight Lord Terminators armed with Bubotic Axes and Plague Swords, as well as Combi Bolters. We have Plague Spewers in both squads as well. And we have a Fetid Bloat Drone armed with 2 Plague Spitters and a Plague Probe. Alright, so end of the turn for Hollow Swarm turn 1. Opponent simply moving his units forward, the slow lumbering units of Nurgle, looking to secure the battlefield objective number 2, secured by these Plague Marines. And the Poxwalkers here not looking to move through the forest into objective number 1, holding back for the time being. Turn 1 very early, both sides too far to make any effective shooting. So we'll pass over to the Dark Angels for turn 1 and see what they can do as we fight to secure the relic. End of the movement phase for the Dark Angels turn 1. The Dark Shroud and the Ravenwing Bikers moving forward into the forest towards objective number 1. Hellblasters, Lazarus, Primaris Lieutenant and the Intercessors securing the building here. Near enough to objective number 3 that they can capture that when needed, but looking to utilize their range and firepower against the Hollow Swarm. Across here, the Scout Squad have made a move towards the Relic, dropping in through concealed deployment behind the shipping containers. They're looking to make a dash and capture that for themselves, supported by the Dreadnought of the 5th Company. He's lumbering around behind the shipping containers as well, focused, ready to fire in on the Death Guard across in this building right here. And 5 Intercessors here looking to capture this objective. So secured objective 5, objective number 3, just out of range there, but ready to capture it when the game ends. So that's the movement. We'll go into the shooting phase for Dark Angels turn number 1. Shooting phase for the Dark Angels, Master Lazarus and the Intercessor Squad and Lieutenant open fire with their bolt rifles into the bloke drone here in the forest. We've landed 6 hits, 6 wounds, so we're looking for 6 3-up saves. 6 3-up saves for the bloke drone. Or 3 failed. I think you get disgustingly resilient. So we get 3 6-up disgustingly resilient saves. Could be a 5-up actually. Oh no, it's that one's passed. So only 2 wounds taken. End of the shooting phase for the Dark Angels turn number 1 in this Relic mission, Eternal War. The Raven Wings fire ineffective as they're shooting through the forest. Only 1 Poxwalker falls to the bullets. The Scouts advance onto the Relic to capture it and now look to secure it on our side of the battlefield. The Dreadnought managed to take out 1 of the Plague Marines as well with his assault cannon. But otherwise, it's still very, very early game. A lot of units for the Death Guard held up in reserve and a squad of Deathwing Terminators as well yet to drop on. So early game, we'll see what happens as we move into Death Guard turn 2, the Hollow Swarm. See what they can do. End of movement phase for the Hollow Swarm turn number 2. The Poxwalkers shamble onto the ruined building here to fortify even further objective number 2. We have Lord Falthius's cohort. 3 Blight Lords drop down here. They're eyeing up the Scout Squads who have secured the Relic. Blight Lord Squad as well drop down right here. Eye of line of sight towards the Dreadnought and the Intercessors there on that objective, although they do remain obscured by the rocky outcrop. Bloke drone whizzing through, coming into the crater. Poxwalkers still hiding in the forest there, not making their move just yet. And back here, the trio of Death Guard HQ, Lord of Magoth, Lord of Contagion, Lord of Balthasar, Lord of Contagion, and the host of the Destroyer Hive himself, Lord Typhus. He's taken a personal interest in the action on Cerberus, which is rare. So we know that whatever they're fighting over, whatever relic they're looking to secure, it must be important for the son of Mortarion himself to be leading the battle. With that being said, our Dark Angels are going to react. We're going to use the Auspex scan. So nearby motion and radiation signatures are detected by a handheld device, forewarning the bearer of enemy ambushes. So the Hellblaster squad are going to trigger the Auspex scan, so they're going to shoot into Typhus himself. Alright, so the Hellblasters initiate their Auspex scan, allowing them to react to the arrival of the trio of the Lords of Contagion. So their firepower will be directed into Typhus himself. at a -1 to hit. However, they are supported by Lazarus and a lieutenant. They'll also activate another stratagem, the Weapons of the Dark Age, to increase their firepower. So we'll trigger that right now. 10 shots, Hellblasting in. 10 shots from the Hellblasters into Typhus. Not going to supercharge because they're going to fail on a 2. Oh no. We will supercharge. But we get reroll once. Alright, so 1 reroll. So 8 hits landed, toughness 5, strength 8. So freeze the wound and reroll ones because of the lieutenant. Alright, so Typhus, Lord of Contagion, host of the Destroyer Hive, needs to make 6 4-up invulnerable saves against the Hellblasters. So he's passed 3, failed 3. He's going to use a command point to reroll one of them. Looking for a 4-up. No.
He's dead.
Is he? So Typhus, Lord of Contagion, has fallen victim to the Auspex scanners. The Dark Angels were ready for the arrival of any deep striking reinforcements, and they've opened fire with their Weapons of the Dark Ages. We've landed 3 wounds, dealing 3 damage apiece, dealing 9 total wounds. Typhus has a total of 6. So he could be dead, but we're looking for 9, 5, or 6 disgustingly resilience. So rolling for that now. Alright, and Typhus has failed those rolls. So he is wiped out from the battlefield before he even gets to stomp in and do anything. To the detriment of the Hollow Swarm. Will they survive? That's first blood to the Dark Angels. And that's not even our shooting phase, that's just merely reacting. Amazing. Master Lazarus looks on as the host of the Destroyer Hive is destroyed in an overwhelming display of firepower from the Hellblasters. However, he knows that victory is not yet assured and prepares for the assault of the Hollow Swarm as we go into the shooting phase, turn number 2. So the Blightlord Terminators witnessing Typhus getting blasted out of existence, open fire into the Dreadnought, dealing 4 wounds to the mighty vehicle? I don't know. Meanwhile, over here, the scouts who have the Relic, they have been attacked by the Plague Spewer, landing 4 wounds. So we're looking for 4 5-up saves to keep them in the game. 4 5-up saves for the line. Oh, made 1.
3 dead.
3 dead. Alright, and the 2 more Blightlords with the combi bolters landing 2 more wounds. Not -1, so 2 4-up saves for the scouts to keep them in. Come on. Boom. Both good as gravy. Fetid bloat drone, buzzing away like a bloated fly, flying across the battlefield, opening fire with its plague spitters. So rolling 10 shots, 10 wounds. So the bloat drone lands 7 wounds onto the scouts. We're looking for 7 5-up saves to keep them in the game. They have secured the Relic, but they're not yet safe. So 7 5-up seems like a hard mission to accomplish. Let's see how they do. 7 5-up saves. Made 1, so they're dead. And dropping the Relic as they get vaporized from the battlefield. Oh, rough. Alright, so end of the Hollow Swarm, turn number 2. Quick sweep across the battlefield in the 65 power level Warhammer 40k battle report. So the Dark Angels managed to kill Typhus before he even made it onto the battlefield, melting him in a barrage of plasma fire. The Hollow Swarm responded in kind and wiped the scout squad. They don't even get to make it to the tactical squads. They're wiped out of existence in this one battle. The Relic has been dropped back in the battlefield again. Not a lot else happening there. Objectives still to secure. Raven Wing moving across the board. We'll see what happens as we go into Dark Angel's turn number 2 and see what we can do in this Relic mission. End of the movement phase for the Dark Angel's turn number 2. The Intercessors, Master Lazarus and Primaris Lieutenant all drop down from the building into the crater, ready to combat the arrival of the Deep Striking Lords of Contagion. The Hellblasters ready their weapons as well, moving into rank, ready to support. Intercessor squad over here moving from Objective 5 in the Rocky Outcrop, looking to combat the Blight Lord Terminators and support the Dreadnought that's moving in to fight as well. The Raven Wing rush forward towards the forest, looking to capture Objective 1 and fire into the Poxwalkers laying in wait. And then across the battlefield here, we have the arrival of the elite warriors of the first company, the Deathwing. They drop in and we're going to trigger a stratagem. Deathwing Assault. Alright, so the Deathwing have dropped in just within range of the Relic. Activating the Deathwing Assault with perfect timing. The Deathwing have learned to begin their sweeping fire patterns even before their arrival from teleportation. So unleashing a volley of Stormbolter fire at the end of the movement phase into the bloat drone. We'll look to clear that before mopping up the rest of the Hollow Swarm on the battlefield. Alright, so the Deathwing Assault is largely ineffective against the monstrous feathered bloat drone, who manages to tank all the Stormbolter shots. However, it doesn't manage to tank the shot from the Cyclone missile launcher, which has wounded and will deal d6 damages, looking for a 6. So, damn. 2 disgusting and resilience, 5 or 6s. None made, so down to 6 wounds left. Alright, into the shooting phase for Dark Angel's turn number 2. Not going to make the same mistake and fire into the bloat drone. Going to open fire into the 3 Plague Marines up in the building. Alright, so an underwhelming arrival for the Deathwing Terminators. Only took out 2 Plague Marines up in the building there, out of 20 Stormbolter shots and 2 crack missiles. Yeah, very disappointing. Across here, we dealt 1 wound from 10 shots from the bolt rifle, so again, another ineffective shooting. Hopefully we're going to get more out of the mighty Dreadnought. So this is one of the challenges when facing the Death Guard, the Hollow Swarm. High toughness, and then saves on top of saves. So they've got invulnerables no matter what my AP is. And then they've also got disgustingly resilient no matter how many damage I deal. So it's a bit of a war of attrition. Dealt some heavy damage, but yeah, it's still a bit stalematey at the moment. Going to open fire now with the Intercessors. Alright, so end of the shooting phase for the Dark Angel's turn number 2. Are largely ineffective across the board. The might of the Hollow Swarm, the might of Grandfather Nurgle holds supreme. Yeah, just can't land any real lasting damage. It's pretty rough. Nothing happening over there. Brought him down 3 wounds. Firepower, bolt guns, and assault cannon from the Raven Wing. Still can't clear the Poxwalkers out of that forest. 4 remaining in there. Deathwing dropping in a mighty display of firepower. Again, largely doing nothing. I think actually doing nothing. And then, yeah, here, 1 wound taken off these guys. Nothing happening. We're going to end the turn though by charging the Dreadnought 3 inches into the Blight Lords. Alright, so the mighty Dreadnought swings in 4 attacks, only makes 2 of them. Yeah, not having the best of rolls this turn. It's been pretty rough. However, we do manage to kill 2 of the Blight Lord Terminators. They'll fight back. We'll go into turn number 3 for the Hollow Swarm. See what happens in this Relic mission. Yeah, stay with us. Alright, so into Hollow Swarm turn number 3. Results of combat. The Bubotic Axes dealt 1 damage to the mighty Dreadnought. Combat is still locked in. We'll see what happens in the movement phase. End of movement phase for the Hollow Swarm Death Guard, turn number 3. The Poxwalker is looking to finally do something, moving forward out of the forest towards the Raven Wing. Dude's still hiding here within the building, holding that objective. Thaltheus' tainted cohort moving forward to challenge the Deathwing Terminators, accompanied by the bloke drone. Relic still up for grabs over there. And across here, the Blight Lords still remain locked in combat with the mighty Dreadnought of the 5th Company. I can say mighty, can't I? Mighty. That's not biased.
It's biased.
It is mighty. I mean mighty.
It's small.
Look, it towers over the... that's just pure factual. Pure facts. Mighty, towering vehicle of death.
Like Fox News.
And lastly, the 2 Lords of Contagion, Thaltheus and Magoth, move forward, split attack into the crater here, ready to pop off. Lord Thaltheus, one of the Lords of the Hollow Swarm, activates Nurgle Rot, triggering that orb in his hand, unleashing a wave of death and decay across the Dark Angels gathered here. Intercessors, Master Lazarus, Lieutenant, and the Hellblasters. So he's going to roll to damage them. So Intercessor Squad on a 4+, D3 mortal wounds from Nurgle's Rot. D3 mortal wounds. How many mortal wounds? 3 mortal wounds. So Lord Thaltheus' Nurgle's Rot strikes into the Intercessor Squad, dealing 3 mortal wounds, which normally cannot be saved. However, our Intercessor Squad are in presence of the newly Primarist and new Master of the 5th Company, Master Lazarus, replacing Balthasar, who was killed in the last campaign. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch the Fall of Balthasar for more details there. Master Lazarus, Primaris and member of the Inner Circle, has the Spirit Shield Helm. So when a model in a friendly Dark Angels unit within 6 inches would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound, roll a d6, adding 1 to the result if the model that would lose... if this is the model. So on a 5-up, the wound is not lost. So we've got our own little disgustingly resilient. Master Lazarus rallies his squad with his Spirit Shield Helm. Let's take a quick moment to admire the craftsmanship here. A simple kit bash replacing the head of Lazarus. Excellent painting skills as well. But 3 5-ups to ignore those mortal wounds. Yo! That's it. For the lion. Master Lazarus inspires his men. No one dies from that. Next victim of Nurgle's Rot would be Lazarus himself, who tanks the hit. Next up is the Hellblasters. They're going to take D3 mortal wounds. 3 mortal wounds. So Spirit Shield Helm of Lazarus. Oh, so
that's 2 mortal wounds.
Yeah, so 1 guy's dead. And the Primaris Lieutenant, Nurgle's Rot.
1.
Does not affect him. Alright, the fetid bloke drone opens fire with the Plague Spitters, landing 5 wounds onto the Deathwing. So we're looking for 5 3-up saves on their Terminator armor. 5 3-ups, come on. Bro. 1 Terminator dead. End of shooting phase for the Hollow Swarm, turn 3. The Terminator's got a bit of death dealt to them. 2 guys dead, 1 guy wounded. Not a lot happening over there. Nothing can happen over there with the Poxwalkers. They're looking forward to charging. 2 Lords here. Again, they'll be charging as well. So I guess we're going into the assault phase. Charge everyone in and start getting some combats going. Alright, so combat ended here. Lost another Terminator. 1 guy with 1 wound left. The Deathwing are up against fierce odds. Chopped in with their chain fist, however, the disgustingly resilience took the hit, and these guys are still alive and kicking. Very, very rough battle at the moment for them. Alright, so the mighty Dreadnought once again goes into battle, landing 3 wounds. Looking for 3 4-ups to tank that, which know my opponent's luck this game. Whoa, screw this game. So the combined assault of the Lords of Contagion of the Hollow Swarm, Plague Reaper and Man Reaper swinging in, swiftly kills 4 of the Primaris Intercessors. We have the Sergeant, Lazarus, and the Lieutenant ready to fight back in. Master Lazarus hefts his Heavenfell Blade, Enmity's Edge, renamed from Felbane. It is a weapon against those of psychic origin, however works perfectly fine against any other enemies of the Imperium as well. He's landed 6 wounds onto Lord Falthius. Falthius is looking for 6 4-ups to tank that. See how he does. 1, 2, 3, 4. Made 4 of them.
5 or 6s?
No, wait a minute. So Lord Falthius passes 4 of those wounds. They have been tanking hits so hard this game. It's been so rough. Dealing D3 damages though from Enmity's Edge. Rolling high, rolling high. So 2 and 1, so 3. So 3, 5 or 6, discussing the resilience. Feeling nervous. Oh, only passed 2 of them. So 2 wounds. Alright, so Falthius down to 4 wounds. Yeah, man. Rough, that disgustingly resilient, but Lazarus still stands ready to combat. So the Lieutenant and the Primaris Sergeant land 4 wounds onto Lord Magoth, who has 3 wounds remaining. However, no AP, so he's looking for 4 2-ups. Passed all of them. Ugh, yikes. Well, that's enough. That'll end the turn for the Hollow Swarm, turn number 3. To quickly recap the battlefield. So this objective is held by the Dark Angels currently. You know, they're close to being wiped out. But we do have this objective here. Death Guard, Hollow Swarm hold this objective in the building. And objective 5 here, not yet secured, as well as the Relic still up for grabs in the center of the battlefield. So we've got some work to do. Whoa, yeah, we'll see what happens. Going to Dark Angels turn number 3. End of movement phase for the Dark Angels. Master Lazarus remains locked in combat against Falthius, Lord of Contagion. The Primaris Lieutenant and the Primaris Intercessor Sergeant, last survivor, have withdrawn out of combat with Magoth, opening him up to firepower from the Hellblasters up here. The Ravenwing Dark Shroud has zoomed across the battlefield, smoke billowing from its gothic ornaments. The Ravenwing Bike Squad up here, secured and safe, well out of range of the rest of the army. Terminators remain locked in combat. I'll keep them there. Relic still out of reach. Meanwhile, combat here still ongoing. And lastly, the Intercessors have moved into the rubble, this rocky outcrop, to secure that objective. So 3 currently to us. We'll see what happens as we go into shooting phase for the Dark Angels, turn number 3. Alright, so the Hellblasters landed 7 wounds onto Lord Magoth. We need 7 4-ups. Again, he's probably going to make them. Oh, I failed 4 of them. Alright, so that is 8. 5 up, disgustingly resilience. Oh, yes, we did it. Alright, man, we started so strong, like Typhus dropped in, got wiped out by the Auspex scan in one go. Like that was turn 2 wiped. And then everything else just doesn't want to die. Finally, we got rid of this guy though. Get gone. Man, rough game, I tell you. That's pretty much, that's the end of the shooting anyway. So we'll just wrap up combat. Master Lazarus once again swinging in, chopping 4 wounds. Invulnerable save for 4-ups first. Oh yeah. Alright. So 3 failed. D3 damages and then discussing resilience. Let's figure that. Alright, so D3 damages from the 3 wounds. 1, 2, 4. Man, come on. 4, 5 ups. So 2 passed, 2 failed. So he's down to 2. Man, I could have killed him then. Alright, so Lord Falthius, 2 wounds remaining, swings in with his Man Reaper, dealing 4 wounds. So we're looking for 4 4-up saves from Lazarus. 4 4-ups. Passed 1 of them, failed 3.
3d3s.
3d3s, yeah. Roll triple ones.
6s, please.
1, 3, 3.
7.
7. I think he's dead. Holy shit. He might be dead. Alright, so Lord Falthius' Man Reaper tears straight through Lazarus, who falls heavily wounded, bleeding out. Oh man. These guys are so shit. I hate fighting them. Can't believe it. Lazarus is down for the count. So the Warlord for the Dark Angels and the Death Guard have both been defeated. He's going to get wiped out when I shoot into him though. But, oh, rough. Alright, so the Fury of the Dreadnought. 1 more Blight Lord is dead. 2 more remaining with their bubotic axes, and they'll swing in as well. Alright, quick sweep over the battlefield. We have 2 Blight Lords, 1 wounded Dreadnought. We have a wounded Lord of Contagion, looking to capture that objective. Wounded Bloat Drone, a wounded Blight Lord here, 1 at full strength. These guys out of range to do anything but securing the objective. So yeah, close game as we go into turn 4 for the Hollow Swarm. See what happens. Yeah, could be anyone's game still. So a swift movement phase for the Death Guard Hollow Swarm. Lord Magoth, wounded, still moves forward towards the Lieutenant after wiping out Lazarus. The Lieutenant, the last HQ on the battlefield, so he's looking to make quick work of him, break the leadership ranks of the Dark Angels, and see if that will break their morale throughout. The Lord Falthius chops into the Lieutenant in combat, and 1 turn of combat claims another Dark Angel with his Man Reaper. Tearing across the battlefield, he is unstoppable. So combat here, the mighty Dreadnought landed 2 wounds, however the Blight Lords tanked it again through disgustingly resilience. Man, wasn't salty. I'm getting pretty salty now actually. Very, very salty. The Dreadnought's lost another wound, so he's not going to hold out too much longer. Last combat here to resolve is the Deathwing Terminators up against the Blight Lord and the Bloat Drone. Alright, so end of turn for the Hollow Swarm, turn number 4. Again, Deathwing successful with hits and wounds, however, disgustingly resilient wins out on the day. So that combat is still ongoing. We're going to Dark Angels, turn number 4. Oh, yeah, let's get this game done, eh? Alright, so the remaining Intercessor Sergeant and the 4 Hellblasters rally together in the crater on this objective to take down Lord Falthius. He is swept across, tearing through 5 Intercessors, a Hellblaster, Primaris Lieutenant, and Master Lazarus himself. He needs to be stopped. Across here, the Deathwing Terminators have made a desperate dash, escaping from combat, advancing out, quickly claiming the Relic, remembering that it gives a 2 times point multiplier for the end of the game. The Raven Wing Dark Shroud has come forward as well. It's smoke obscuring the Terminators, so to help keep them in the game a little bit longer. Everywhere else is pretty staying where it is, making some desperate gambits to achieve a final victory. Alright, and he ended up tanking the shots from the plasma, so he's still alive. We're going to get torn to shreds in their final turn. Potentially. Not a lot else we can do. Alright, so wrap up Dark Angel's turn 4. Another terrible turn. He couldn't land a single hit. Shooting into the Terminators here. They tanked it again, disgustingly resilient. So not a lot else happening as we go into the final turn for the Hollow Swarm. Yeah, this is going to be make it or break it, I guess. Final turn for the Hollow Swarm. Lord Falthius is moving forward, looking to tear up the remaining Dark Angels in this crater. Man, he force of chaos for sure, wiping everything out there. Across here, Bloat Drone Terminators looking to stop the Deathwing Terminators, who are in possession of the Relic. Will they be effective? We'll find out in the shooting phase. Alright, so the Plague Spitters from the Bloat Drone have dealt 10 wounds into the Terminators. We're looking for 10 2-up saves. So my luck this game, what we've filmed this, capture the roll, 10 2-ups. We have 3 wounds remaining, so I need to pass 7 of them. But I should be able to pass 10 of it, like all 10. 10 2-ups. Failed 1. Yes. So 1 guy dead, 1 is still alive. Alright, team, so it is a neck and neck game. Both of us standing up, we're not sitting down anymore. We are measuring our rolls, we are accurate. So that's a crazy game. We need to see who's going to win. Could still be anyone's game actually. He's landed 6 hits with the Plague Spitter into the final Deathwing Terminator. Just need 6 2-up saves. Need to pass 5 of them. 6 2-ups. Oh, and we did. So he is still alive. Alright, so we've landed 1 Combi Bolter hit onto the Deathwing Terminator, who's got 1 wound left. So 1 2-up save is all we need. He is good. He survived the shooting. Now into the charges. 1 4-up save required for the Terminator. No, he fails. And he dies, dropping the Relic, which will be collected by the Blight Lords as they consolidate move. So they've secured the Relic. But the game is not yet over. Alright, so final turn for the Death Guard, the Hollow Swarm. Everything hinging on this final movement here. Falthius charging into combat. We're going to fire off some Overwatch. But my opponent collected the Relic by defeating the final Deathwing Terminators. Just realised it would have been better had the Terminators died in the previous shooting phase. So they couldn't charge in and collect the Relic. That would have been an immediate victory, as we are in control of 3 objectives currently. But yeah, he's got the Relic, so he's got a 1 objective times 2, so a multiplier there. And then he can contest this one, meaning that it'll end in a draw. Alright, so we've landed 4 hits from the Plasmas. Hellblasters shooting in, which is surprising. Toughness 5 to strength 8, so wounding on 3s. 3 wounds, minus 4 AP, so 3 4-up invulnerables. Put it on camera. Passed 2 of them, failed 1 of them. So 2 flat damages, so 2 5 or 6 disgustingly resilient. Is the game here? What was that? That's a 2.
And a 1.
Oh! I did it! I did it! Killed him in Overwatch fire. Oh, what a relief. Let's do some cinematic for that. Wow. So the Dark Angels stare down their enemy, Lord Faltheus. His Man Reaper has claimed the lives of many of their brothers, and they are furious, opening fire, supercharging their plasma incinerators. They fire it in as the Lord of Contagion charges, and evaporate him, reduce him to ash as a result of their heavy firepower. Victory is not yet claimed, though the relic still lies in the enemy's hand as we go into the final turn for the Dark Angels. Alright, finally, so we'll call the game there a minor victory for the Dark Angels' 5th Company, who managed to secure the most victory points by objectives. However, the Hollow Swarm do end the game in possession of the relic that they fiercely fought to capture. So it's a hollow victory against the Hollow Swarm. And an absolute bloody game it was. Man, both sides neck and neck all the way through to turn 5. It's rare that we ever get to turn 5 in our games. Normally we have a clear victory earlier than that. But this one, you know, man, we were counting dice, we were measuring accurately, going fierce to try and secure victory for either side. So yeah, man, so close. Me, as a Dark Angels player, I was pretty fortunate the first 2 turns, like dominated dice rolls, wiping out Typhus before he hit the battlefield. That was pretty awesome. But then it went pretty downhill from there as my dice started failing, my opponent's dice started succeeding, and he kept rolling all his invulnerables and disgustingly resilient. I mean, 4-up invulnerables plus disgustingly resilient, that's BS. That is crazy. But yeah, close game, a great game, an entertaining game. I hope you enjoyed it there, Whānau. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it a like, show your support for a humble maoriwargamer still filming content in the midst of these uncertain times, you know. YouTube entertainment, highly valued. So I hope whatever these times find you doing, that this video can you know, somewhat alleviate your stress, your fears. This is something, a bit of entertainment. Put it on, paint in the background, read in the background, whatever you want to do. I'll still be here churning out the videos for my loyal subscribers, 305 and counting at the moment.
Master Balthasar gets to his feet, recovering thanks to the swift work of the 5th Company Apothecary. My thanks to you, brother. We have much work to do. I do not know what ritual the enemy hopes to achieve with the relic, but we have secured this battlefield. I want all active squads called to Cerberus, and I will make contact with the Rock for reinforcement from the 1st and 2nd Companies. We will make the enemies of the Imperium pay, for we are the Angels of Death. We are the Sons of the Lion. We are the Dark Angels.
So not the most noblest of battles for Lazarus. You know, now in command of the 5th Company. You know, he has recovered from his wounds thanks to the swift arrival of the Apothecary. However, he will learn, you know, from the mistakes made in this battle and come back stronger than ever. We've got one more battle report, Death Guard versus Dark Angels next week. To wrap up the story, the rise of Lazarus. Lazarus has fallen, Lazarus will rise once again as the Hollow Swarm escape with that relic. What dark rituals will they hope to achieve with it in their possession? Well, the Dark Angels will be there to thwart them. So I hope you tune in next week there, Whānau. Tune in every week by subscribing and showing your support once again. Keep doing what we do. We have Ynnari and Slaanesh coming up, Necrons, Dreamstealer cults, a lot more action coming your way. We'll move away from the Space Marine focused battle reports and go back to a bit of Xenos, a bit of Chaos, Just look at those unloved armies that don't get enough coverage on YouTube. But yeah, wherever you are, I hope you're staying safe, staying sane, do whatever you need to do. And thank you for watching once again. I'll catch you next week. But until then, I am your humble host, the Maoriwargamer. Thank you for watching. Once again, ka kite ano.